What's up? What's up? This is Ghost, your mentor, the biggest and the winning team in Zambia, Ghost FX. This is BTC, 5 minutes time frame. I will be teaching you my strategy. My strategy is called the poverty killer strategy. Now, if you want to use the poverty killer strategy efficiently and kill the market successfully, you need to follow 4 rules, and I call these rules 4 steps in heaven. Why do I call these rules 4 steps in heaven? Because you will come out with profits once you follow these 4 rules. Once you follow the rules, you will come out with profits. So I call it 4 steps in heaven, because when you jump into heaven, all right, so now let's get it. We have to understand the past for us to predict the present. Okay, so now we can see that price was selling and price bought here, and now price was selling again here. So now I think price is now buying. We are going to buy. All right, so now why am I saying we are going to buy? Let me break it down to you. So this is the beginning of everything. So I'll start from here. So let's try to understand what happened here. All right, why did we have this push up? Then that's when we can understand what is happening here. So it all started from this point here. Okay, it all started from this point here. This is the point where everything started, and this is the point that is going to help us understand what is happening right here. Okay, so we can see that we have the lowest point here. Okay, and we have the highest point above here. Then price failed to create the new lowest point here, but this resistance did manage to push price all the way down here, creating a new lowest point. Okay, then we have another highest point here. Then this lowest point failed to push down, breaking this point, which is here. Okay, so price failed to create a new lowest point down here. Okay, and what happened? Price pushed all the way up here. So now this is where everything begins. So I'll go ahead and delete this, maybe even, okay, I'll leave this one here. Now let's zoom here. Let's focus and talk about what is happening here. So you can see that this structure failed to create a new lowest point here. Instead, price pushed all the way up, creating choke. Choke means change of character. Okay, so we can see this structure was taken out by this push up. Okay, because we clearly understand that price came from this highest point here all the way down here, breaking these two structures here, right? Then price pushed back inside the zone, creating a new highest point. Then we was expecting a new lowest point, of which price failed. Then price pushed up. All right, so we are going to indicate this as 1. This is our 1. Why? Because this is the first structure that has caused break of structure. So this is the reason why we have this choke. So we are going to indicate this one as 1. Then we have now price pushed up and came down here. Okay, then from here we have this push up. If I do this here, I see we have another structure that was taken out. So meaning we now have BOS. BOS means break of structure, for those that don't know. So now this is the cause of this break of structure above here. Okay, because we can see that this one created choke, then pull back. This one created the breakout structure. That's all we need from the past. So therefore we are going to indicate this as 2. This is our 2. Okay, this is our 2. So from this point we can see that we had a beautiful push up. Literally even this structure above here was being taken out. Okay, so we can see I'll skip all these structures inside and talk about the major one on top. It was taken out. All right, so that tells us to say price bought, and we have 1 and 2. So why do we have 1 and 2? 1 is the main guy, then 1 creates 2 to be taken out in near future. I want you to understand that 1 creates 2 to be taken out. Giving you a realistic example, 1 is the murderer, then he gives his weapon to the next guy to hold it for him. When the cops come, they find the fingerprints for the next guy to the original killer. You understand? So like, I'm the killer here, I kill somebody, then I give my gun to my friend, then the cops come, they find the fingerprints of my friend on the weapon, right? So meaning my friend is in trouble. That's the 1 and 2. So 1 is the main guy, but 1 creates 2 for 2 to be taken out in near future when price come. So now let's do this. Let's see if price did manage to take out this structure which is here. Okay, here we go. So 2 was taken out. Okay, so 1 created 2 for 2 only to be taken out. Okay, so now we have 3. Now we have 3. So 3 is the most important rule, I think, amongst these 4 steps. A third one is the most important step, because we need to see price taking out 2, but again we need to see price close back inside the zone and not outside the zone. Okay, so if you follow 1 and 2, on number 3 you are not allowed to take a trade yet. Let number 3 be completed, 100% completed. Okay, let number 3 take out 2 and close back inside the zone. Then only then we go on stage 4. After price closing back inside the zone, then now we go on step 4, which is now confirmation. Okay, after price taking out 2 and price closing back inside the zone, then we can now talk about the last step, which is 4, and that stage is decision making. Are you buying or selling? So literally we are talking about taking a trade now. Okay, so this is what we have: 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first creates 2 to be taken out by 3, and after 3 takes out 2, make sure you have enough patience to wait to see if price is going to close back inside the zone, because what you don't need is price closing below 2. Once price close below 2, then expect price to continue selling, or if price was buying, to continue buying. So what you need is to have enough patience, observe, watch the market, and do nothing. All right, once you see price closing back inside the zone, then you now wait for confirmation. because we can see that this candle closed back inside the zone. Now wait for confirmation. What kind of confirmation are we talking about? We're talking about a candlestick pattern. So we can use the normal ones such as bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing, pin bar, morning star, tweezer bottom. So we can use any of those. So looking at what kind of candlestick pattern we have here, we have a bullish engulfing, the blue one and the red one. This is a bullish engulfing. You can take a trade here. You take a trade here and you put your SL below 3. Okay, then you target this as your first TP and this as your second TP. So I'm expecting price to buy. All right, so I'm expecting a buy. This is BTC. I'm expecting a buy, and this is 5 minutes time frame. So let's see what happens. I will post this video and I will post the outcome regardless of the result, whether positive or negative. I will post. Remember, we don't always win. There are times when we get cooked, guys. This is forex. This is the market. No matter who you are, you will catch a loss, 1 or 2. It is just part of the game, guys. You can't dodge losses. They are part of the process. So either ways, what matters the most is developing a system that you understand. All right, that you understand and easy for you to apply. That is the most important thing. That's all you need. Create a system that you understand and easy for you to follow. Okay, that's all you need. That's all I did. All right, so I'm expecting a push up right now. So this is the strategy, 4 steps in heaven. Okay, so all you need to do is follow these steps, guys, then you are good to go. Four steps in heaven. So the first one creates two to be taken out by 3. Then after 3 takes out 2, just wait for 3 to close back inside the zone. And once 3 close back inside the zone, wait for 4. 4 is now confirmation, because price can literally close back inside the zone, then the next candle comes down again, breaks the structure, or push up and breaks the resistance. You get. So what you need after 3, you just need for confirmation, bullish engulfing or bearish engulfing if you are selling. So this is the strategy, 4 steps in heaven. This is the poverty killer strategy. Hey, anointing mudara, you come out successful once you just follow these steps. All right, so this is Ghost FX, your mentor, the biggest and the winning team in Zambia, signing out.